I would like to welcome you to the first FANA Global Foundation kickoff, public kickoff. I want to tell you a little bit about how we have actually come together and formed this foundation. For me, in the last couple of decades, I have come to clearly see that I've been living life automatically, mostly based on circumstances. And I thought that my circumstances are very unique to me. That I thought that was a reason that I was not living life the way that I always wished or dreamed about. Listening though and speaking to some other people, like my family members, people like my friends, and people that I've come to know more intimately, I really got that they have their own circumstances and nothing special about circumstances being specifically for me. So some example of these circumstances are not having enough time, not having enough money, not having enough support from family, husband, wife, kids, children, parents, not having enough support from neighbors, societies, countries, and governments, etc. Where these circumstances live typically is in back of my head, making up all my self-talks and also my monologue type conversation. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with those self-talks and monologue conversation, aren't you? So, in my view, fundamentally, the basis for all of these circumstances is really fear. Fear of not making it in life, fear of not getting accepted, fear of not looking good. And so we automatically and consistently live in a space that it seems that there is something wrong. That has made up the illusion of separation that we have learned to experience long time ago when we were little, around the age of 2 or 3, if you remember, going around and saying, "I'm Fred," and it is all about I, me, and the mine. And later on in life, the boundary of actual physical body and our skin itself gave us more reason to feel that we are separate. That I'm separate from you, and I'm separate from others, and we all separate from each other, and I'm separate from the world and universe. And the rest of our life, we have been trying very hard either to overcome this and get accepted and get attention, or on the other hand, trying to prove that we are actually separated, or combination of both. So although I can see that there is really nothing wrong with living life on our circumstances, on our limitations, I'm also very clear that that kind of living does not make any difference in the world. Let me repeat that again. Although I really clearly see that there's really nothing wrong with how we live and living mostly on circumstances, not limitations, I also very clear that this way of living does not make any difference in the world. recognizing this and getting that these are all the stories that we made up ourselves, and to really feel comfortably numb in our little boxes. And several friends and I got together and created this foundation to essentially practice in living outside of these little boxes, practicing transformation, practicing oneness, practicing embracement of greater good of all, with exclusion of no one, and practicing togetherness. And that's how we have founded and formed FANA Global Foundation. FANA is is a mystical, in the mystical poetry of Rumi, who is a 13th century Persian poet, is the highest and deepest level of being. FANA is the state of nothingness. FANA is state of emptiness and meaninglessness, where anything and everything can be created as a possibility. It is a state of freedom from day-to-day struggle and survival in life. A life which is not ruled. It is the state and living a life that it is not ruled by those limitations and circumstances and consequences of that. It is the state that allows transformation, oneness and inclusion, and embracement of the greater good of all, with no one excluded. And it is the only world where our banner that is there to transcend the illusion of impossible and impassable can actually empower us to live life that we really would love. And so that's in a nutshell what FANA is and what we have come to created that. And so in next 20 minutes or so, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I would like to have my friends and members who have helped us to put this together come up here and share with you. One is that what is FANA for them and how they got involved, and also talk to you about our specific projects. Thank you. And